Yo, it's your boy DC3, and this is Dctree-Nation, the channel on YouTube that covers hoops and heroes. And today we're talking hoops. We talking Wemby, baby. And I gotta tell you, man, I was kind of surprised by this report. The Spurs staff is already headed to France. That basically confirms that we're going with Wemby. And clearly that's not a surprise, man. If you know the NBA, if you know the Spurs, if you know the relationship between the country of France and the San Antonio Spurs, it's a given that we're going to pick this guy number one. But it's just something about having it confirmed that makes me feel special. But all jokes aside, I'm kind of surprised that the Spurs are even allowed to do this. Are you allowed to send a medical staff on a potential draft pick? You know, I thought we would have to draft him first before we put him through the physicals or whatnot. You know, I guess they do workouts. So, I don't know. Let me know in the comment section if you know anything about that. Because it felt kind of peculiar that they were doing this early. Not saying it's a bad thing, because I love the fact that they're getting to know this guy early on.
Not bad, not bad.
At the end of the day, man, you can't blame the Spurs for trying to get ahead of this thing, man. And this shows us as fans how committed this team is to making this guy great. And you want to see that, especially after the last few years we've had, you know, in the league. We've been struggling and straining. So I'm glad to see that the Spurs are taking the initiative, that the health staff, you know, are taking the initiative, trying to learn this guy, trying to, you know, learn his weaknesses, his strengths, you know, trying to learn how his body works, because it's a unique body indeed. The article goes on to say that they're going to go over there and do their due diligence. They don't tell us exactly what that is, but I imagine it has something to do with, you know, a physical, obviously, to make sure he doesn't have any underlying issues, and also just trying to, you know, learn him as a person, you know, learn some of his odd, you know, learn about some of his odd exercises and his stretches and what has kept him healthy over the years. Learn this guy, you know, so he can be great for the San Antonio Spurs. And with that said, man, you got to give the Spurs coaching staff, health staff, medical staff, a little grace on this, because this is an unorthodox player. The way he moves, the way he's built, his linkiness, you know, the way his feet look, everything is new to them. You know, I'm sure they're experts in their field, obviously, but it has to be a learning curve to this. But I'm glad, once again, that they're not waiting until after the draft. They're not waiting until this, you know, training camp starts. And of course, until the season starts to get to know this guy. They're going and they're taking the initiative like, hey, we got to get on the ball on this immediately. And that just shows us that the Spurs are committed to this guy. I'm excited. I'm encouraged. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about this. And I will catch you in the next one. Short one today, guys. Peace.